Bonsoir, mon chéri.
Was that French? God, I hope so, because I just used it to open up episode 1 of this brand new podcast. Spanking new. What's it called? Well, that's a good question. Let me hit you with that answer right here. 3, 2, 1. It's called Oops, Wrong Hole. That's right, people. Oops, Wrong Hole. Not the classiest title, I'll admit, but I'm trying to balance that off by sipping a little bit of wine while I record this. Ah, God, I hate the taste of wine. All right, so why am I doing this? I need something to fill up the space between my YouTube videos, and now we got something. For those of you who've been watching my YouTube videos, this is kind of this, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's like imagine, if my YouTube videos are like regular live-in life, with audio and video, this is like that with your eyes closed. It's just the soothing stylings of this velvety Hispanic voice that's hitting your eardrums right now. How are you guys? I wonder who's listening right now. Is it my friends? Is it strangers? Is it Barack Obama? Oh man, he must be free right now. Are you jet skiing? Are you skydiving? Maybe doing a little bit of coke? I don't know what people do after they're presidents, But I know that life must get really weird. Must be really strange. It's like being an A-list actor, but you get one movie. So what are you guys up to? What are you doing? How's your day going? It's Tuesday right now. I'm proud of myself for saying the accurate day. Last few days I've been thinking it was Saturday when it was Friday, thinking it was Thursday when it was Monday, Basically, my brain works like a rock star's would, only I don't have the excuse of years of substance abuse to answer for why my memory's so randomly bad. I thought I had good memory for a long time. I'd be that guy who would call back to like 5 years ago. Hey, remember when you said that thing about the guy with the tie and he'd work at the place with the thing? And they'd be like, oh, wow. You remember that? Holy shit, I don't even remember that. And I'd be like, yeah, I do. Because I eat my veggies. But now, Jesus, I think I'm starting to go deaf. I mean, today I spoke to 2 different people, one for taxes, once when I went to the post office, and I was having trouble understanding them. It was the weirdest thing. And they're speaking, clearly, because there was always somebody next to me who understood everything they said. And I was just there like half the time going, is this a dead language? What is this? It just sounded like, yeah, and then, but it's okay as long as you, I'd hear the first few words and I'd get lost. And it got frightening when I went to the post office after that, and the lady that was talking to me, same thing would happen. Oh, do you want to send this to the class? I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah. Do you want to send that to the... There's a huge line behind me, so I'm starting to sweat. I'm just there thinking, like, these people are going to think, oh, God, who sent Forrest Gump over here to mail this thing? Jesus. Rain Man, we have lives! And I'm just there, slowly panicking until finally, luckily, I understood the lady. I didn't have to do that thing where you pretend you hear them. Oh, yeah, just, it's fine. That's fine. Do I know what I'm paying for? No, but it's fine. Who cares? Oh, God. One of the 2 people I spoke to today was my tax man. Went to the tax man, and he helped me out with my stuffs. But while I was sitting there, I looked at, he had a bunch of little, like, religious kind of pamphlets. He had a bunch of these biblical pamphlets up on the wall. I don't know. And then in the middle of it, I saw like it was, there was the Lord's Prayer, this other biblical scripture. There was like 3 different pamphlets, all with Ben Carson's face on it, which was really strange. But then in the middle of this whole thing, it said, America's fastest growing hate group, Black Lives Matter. And I was just like, oh, shit. Now I gotta get a new accountant. Can't be in this place. This diet neo-Nazi theme they got going in here. America's largest hate group, Black Lives Matter. How does that happen? How do people get that mentality? That tells you something about the way that a lot of the human population's brains work. You can't even read anything without, of course, connecting it to yourself and taking it defensively. Automatically, right off the bat, Black Lives Matter. What are you trying to say? Mine doesn't matter? Trying to say I'm less than? I don't matter like you do? Screw you. You're going down. You're a hate group. No. It's the weirdest thing. But that's also why messages are important. That's also why Black Lives Matter was maybe not the best phrase to use to communicate, because you can't leave windows in there for other people to just assume things with the words. You got to make it clear. But then again, the clearer it is, the longer the message is, and then it's not a catchy slogan anymore. It's not the same, saying Black Lives Matter as saying like, you know, Black Lives Matter, but not more than yours, and not you like you matter more than us, but like equally. That's not a good slogan. Black lives matter the same as your lives matter. Our lives matter. Black lives matter. More simple. But you gotta, you know, if you're not on the team, you don't get the full mojo of the message. That's always the complicated part. I think a lot of people make slogans for their own team. You're trying to get people to join your team. Why don't people get this? You're supposed to be making slogans to win people over. You know, maybe if Black Lives Matter had a slogan saying, racists get free cookies, maybe they'd get more people. You know, at first it'd be rough. You get a bunch of neo-Nazis in there going like, why are all these black people here? And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, calm down. You like cookies? And they're like, oh, I'll have a cookie. And they stay. Grudgingly at first, and little by little, you know, bring out the macadamia. Little oatmeal raisin. I don't know anybody who likes those, but hey, I'm not a racist either, so maybe that's why they have those cookies. Maybe they're the racist cookie. And that would explain why I've never seen anybody buy them. I live a privileged life. Oh, man. Last Sunday, I went to see a flamenco show. It was awesome. It was crazy. I wish I were from New Hampshire, so it's wicked awesome. It was wicked fun. It was crazy. It made you know, I haven't been to a stage performance in forever, and it just brought it to life. I don't know. And it brought that section of the arts back to life for me. Now I'm like, I gotta go see a play. I gotta go see something performed on stage. It's like, you know, I think it's that it gives you like a little, for an hour and a half or whatever the length of the show is, you get a little mini reality before your eyes. Oh, the stage. The original augmented reality. Man, it was a great show. These people, flamenco, at least this kind of version, I think it wasn't like original flamenco. It was some kind of weird modernized version, I guess, because it was some mashup of ballet and flamenco. So you get, that's basically, as far as I know, flamenco is like some kind of epic Hispanic tap dancing. I believe it came from Spain. I could look it up because this is the 21st century, but I'm going to keep this real with you guys. I'm not going to hide my ignorance right now, okay? I'm just going to go full throttle stupid. Just going to tell you what I think, and then I'll look it up after the show's over and be ashamed. That's what I'm going to do. But I do believe it comes from España, and it's like a really intense form of tap dancing. It's like, imagine if you put tap shoes on a horny bull. That's what it is. I think they also call it tableau. I don't know. When I was in Spain, that's right, I travel. I'm cultured. Somewhat, not really. But I went to Spain, and we got to sit in this really kind of almost cavernous basement-like restaurant. We got a glass of wine, quite like the one I'm holding now. And I would sip from it like so. Still terrible. All right. And then the people would be on stage, and they'd come out with these muscly dude bodies, all looking like fucking Robert Plant, just skin-tight clothes. And then this other person would come out. They'd grab the microphone, and they'd go, hi, and then I'd look around, thinking, this dude's going through something. Should we call an ambulance? But he's starting to go, and then I realized, oh, that's how he's going to sing. Okay. And then the guy would start dancing, but super intense. We'd get quiet. He'd look at us. He wouldn't blink. From that Michael Caine school of acting. He'd just look right at us. Feet just tap it on the floor. Whip his torso around. And then eventually, he would always come to a dead stop and whoosh, just stare at us all over again. But every move he'd make, every breath he'd take, would be watching him. This guy would just lightning speed movements. And behind him, they had these dudes with acoustic guitars and a violin. And then the lady would walk out with a big poofy skirt and these like clamshell things in her hands. Dudes again staring at us. And in the middle of this like belting, they always do have a moment where they say like one word that I can understand. They'll just be like, banana, la carreta. There's always like one thing. And I'm like, okay, cool, I understood that. And they always have a guy who's got like a really gravelly voice. It's like they need to, it's a sound of life. That guy's been through some stuff. Okay, listen to his voice. If World War II were in a pair of vocal cords, that'd be it, man. Right there. The whole thing just wrapped you up. You'd always get like just sucked into the performance. It was a super intense thing, especially in the thing I saw in Spain, because the stage was like 5 feet away. But the one I saw on Sunday, it was way farther back, but just as intense. And they had a main dude, the main dancer. And you could tell he was the head honcho. First guy that came out, last guy to leave. He's like Will Smith. And then fucking switch song. Hey, hey, whoa. I forgot all the lyrics. Something like a blah, 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 but something. Hey, turn it over and whoop, whoop, turn around now. I think it was like 8th grade when that came out. Those are the days, man. That's also my peak of watching porn. I think I retired after that. Started early. I was a prodigy. I was like the Kobe of watching porn. Look at him surfing through the channels. Oops, 2 dicks in 1 butt. That's probably what retired me. I remember I was getting ready to go to school, be flipping through the channels in the morning, not meaning to watch porn. I wasn't that bad, and I was gonna watch some TV. I had all the channels back then. I just go through all the channels, click, 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 HBO, click, 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 Showtime, click, 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 Stars, click, 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 and a butthole with 2 wangs going in. That's what came up by accident, and just at that moment, my dad came out from the bedroom and just saw what I was looking at. We looked at each other, and that's the day I became a man, people. That's right, when I accidentally flipped onto a channel of the most frightening anal you've ever seen in your life. It was a close-up of a butthole, and then out of the sides of this screen, you just see 2 monstrous wangs. And I remember thinking, this is kind of like Star Wars, because it just looked like 2 spaceships going into a black hole. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend not being careful about the channels that you're flipping through. Luckily, I have great parents. We didn't even talk about it. My dad just saw that, looked at me, I looked at him, I changed the channel, and that was it. That was my privileged American version of a walkabout. Congratulations, son, you are now a man. You saw 2 monster cocks going into a poor person's anus. I don't even know if it was a lady's anus or a dude. I don't even know the kind of porn I was watching. Does it matter? Probably not. Oh, man. But anyway, this flamenco thing. These guys were dancing. Came out on the stage. Main dude's dancing. Looking at all of us. Super intense. And I'm telling you, the way they dance is like a bull in heat. I think that's the way they freaking designed this. Like, you know how back in the ancient times, a lot of things were based on animals? You know, the totems and all these different symbols and all this stuff. You'd always try to find some natural earth representation, some wildlife to reflect. In this case, it was the bulls in heat. And this dude's doing the thing. They're stomping their feet. They're turning super quickly. Spinning around side to side, side to side, side to side. He'd be turning his head so fast that I'd be thinking, like, this dude's going to leave the stage needing a chiropractor. I swear to you, in the back of my head, I was waiting for him to just be like, he's dead! I was waiting for something horrible. Just, they're moving too fast. But seriously, that can't be healthy. That can't be good for them. Especially those dudes, we caught them at the final night of this performance. They'd been performing for 3 days. And that's when we got there. So their bodies, have you seen how these people dance? By the end of those 3 days, they had to be destroyed. Just absolutely wrecked. I don't know how they can do that. I'm sure as soon as they took off their shoes, it was just like The Shining. Just a tidal wave of blood comes out of that thing. That was a good dance, everybody. Good job. Good job. Ignacio, help me take off my shoe. Holy shit, that's a lot of blood. There's blood in my eye. I'm sorry, Ignacio. I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus. Yo, what's up, fam? No, not you, Kanye. Not you. Go back home. They gotta have some serious injuries from that stuff. They move too quickly. The human body's not made to do that sort of thing. If you see how they whiplash, it is constant whiplash for these people. Non-stop whiplash. The entire choreography is like, it's almost like it's on purpose trying to injure them. That's what flamenco is like. You'd imagine the person who arranged these dances is trying to make them accidentally kill themselves by dislocating their necks. It was a great show. Like I said, amazing show. But I have to admit, I did get distracted because I ordered the tickets online and I saw that the whole thing was basically sold out. I was like, oh shit, this is going to be cool. My mom wanted to go and I was like, all right, Mom, Dad, let's go. Let's go. I looked at the seats. For the most part, they were all taken. So I was like, oh, snap, this is cool. It's going to be a great show, I guess. You know, packed house. Picked the 3 seats that were available closest to the stage. We got there. we sat down, and for like the 2-3 rows in front of us were still empty when we got there. We're like, this is weird, because we got there relatively late. So, as is my way, relatively late. And I sat down, and then the show began, and still nobody came. So I was lost in the performance, but I can't lie that my mind would be constantly jumping. This is how negative my mind is. I would be watching the show, and then I'd be drifting down to these open seats. This would be my thought process. Man, these dancers are great. Look at that. Look at what they're... Holy sh... How do they do that? How do they do... Why are these seats empty? This is kind of weird. Oh my God. Did you see that lady? She just did like 3 spins. What the... Best freaking reaction time in the world. Just whipping around. It's amazing. It's amazing. Are all these people dead? What's happening with these empty seats? Well, I know there's dancers. I know, but there's at least like an RV full of people that apparently are in the bottom of the ocean right now. Are they all dead? Oh my God. They're all dead. All these people are dead. They were all coming down here. Hey, we're gonna watch some flamenco, kids. Woo! Just an entire RV of people driving to the beach. Bloop, 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 bloop. Just one jellyfish swimming up, stinging somebody in the ass before they die. Bloop, 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 bloop. All for flamenco. But it was a good show. That's the point I'm trying to get at here. It's a great show with amazing athletic dancers. And boy, did they sweat. In the middle of the show, my dad was leaning over going, does that guy have a sprinkler system attached to his head? What the fuck? There's just water shooting. And I mean a lot of it. Like enough that I thought an argument was going to break out between one of the dancers and the singing guy. Because every time the guy would whip his head, he's like 2 feet away from the singer. And the guy would just be flipping his head towards him. And every time he'd flip his head in his direction, it was like, have you seen any video or commercial of a dog that's just been showered and they're like shaking off in slow-mo on the lawn? And it's just like... There's water flipping out in all directions. It was like that. That guy had his own little personal ticket to SeaWorld right there. Just, I thought a fight was going to break out. But in the end, no fight broke out because they knew what all great performers know. And that's that the show must go on. Except for this one, because that's the end of this episode. Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening. I'll catch you soon on the flip side. But I'm going to send you off with a toast with this final bit of wine that I got left. Oh. Well, that was a mistake. Bye, everybody. Hasta la bye-bye.